Hello everyone and welcome back to Dragon Age the Veilguard. This is episode 12. Last time we did some Crossroads exploration and ticked a couple more quests off the to-do list, heading down into Treviso and actually looking at that blighted city, seeing the choice, the consequences of the choice that we made. Upon returning to the lighthouse, we fixed the ornament. We've got a disco ball that looks quite pretty, doesn't it? And now all of our teammates are actually in their regular living spaces, which we haven't seen before. Every time we've been here, there's been at least someone hanging out with someone. So we're going to go and check in with all of them, and then we're going to head out, and we're going to go and meet Morrigan. We're doing main story stuff.
How are you holding up, Rook? I'm here if you need me.
And I'm here if you need me too, buddy, because you and me, we're outcasts in this Veilguard. Let me tell you. I'm always here for you.
How's it going?
Alright, good. Good. How's it going? Taash says. It's very good dialogue. What does Emmrich, my boy, have to say?
The view of the Fade here is marvelous. I can't believe this room wasn't taken.
Honestly, true. You walk up here and you're like, wow. See that over there? Crazy. And that one, I'd hate to be over there. And then you jump down here. Whoa. For a bit of a Skyhold nostalgia. We're in the cool part of the lighthouse. You know, this is the cool club. Taash, Emmrich, Varric, and I hanging out in the cool rooms.
I've been trying to move stones, but it doesn't always work. Is it me? Is it the Fade? I need to practice.
Yeah, sorry. I got a magic dagger that does your stuff perfectly. Try harder. When they give all of the companions unique abilities for exploring to access stuff, but then Rook's dagger just goes, copy paste. What if I just mastered all of these abilities with my magic wand? Sorry, Harding.
Rook, good to see you.
Good to see you too. So occasionally the dialogue will be cool, and other times it will just be, hello, welcome. The most stiff petting animation out of the bunch, that one.
What happened in Treviso? The gods will pay.
Yes, they will. I find we've gotten a pretty distinct lack of Elven characters, Elven NPCs, sort of really letting it sink in that these gods that they have worshipped and told stories about forever are these demonic blighted creatures. And they're just like, whoa, crazy. You know, like, man, imagine Meryl learning about this, or a lot of the elves that would speak very highly. I think the forest, like the Dalish elves, learning about this would be crushed way more than city elves.
Rook, I'd rather be left with my thoughts.
Yep, that's talking to Lucanis for you. Check it on Nev. How you doing?
I'll talk with the Shadow Dragons, if there's anything we can do for Treviso.
Well, good luck with that. Maybe fly over that Minrathous capital with your laser cannons and shoot at the blight or something. Maybe that'll do something. Okay. Having a look, we have Shades of the Blight, meeting Morrigan at the Cobbled Swan, and something wrong. We'll do Shades of the Blight, because Elganon and Gillenaine's forces are at work in many places. Fortunately, the team already has contacts who have begun pushing back. Lady Morrigan and Grey Wardens Antoine and Evka want to discuss their investigations into the gods and the blight. Sounds good to me. Now, we will go through the crossroads to get there. So I think what we're going to start doing is a bit of a run where it's crossroads, mission, lighthouse, rinse and repeat. That way we're able to cycle through crossroads exploration and companion dialogue, do a mission, go back to the lighthouse, and see what companions have to say in terms of that dialogue. I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, in terms of people, I'm going to bring my best man, and we're seeing Grey Wardens, so I'm going to bring my second best man. Boys' night, let's go through the crossroads. Emmrich and Davarin. Yeah, seeing Grey Wardens just makes sense. Otherwise, I probably would have brought maybe Nev, maybe Taash.
Monsters and kill Darkspawn. But this place, it's beyond me.
It's beyond me. We also... Oh.
Delirium daggers, vibrating, like a song in a wine glass. Those voices?
Okay, investigate this. Also, I was just going to say we've got some fancy pants armor, and I like it, so that's what we're wearing.
Now you see, Dweller, the gods hunger to reclaim this place. Their minions scavenge what the wolf left behind. They turn his regrets to weapons and blight all they touch. If the Evenuras take the crossroads, darkness will fall.
Spell it out for me. Exactly what happens if the gods reclaim the crossroads?
The fade flows through these ancient ways. Spirits and demons, dreams and magic. Now, imagine all blighted.
Like I needed another reason to stop them. What are you doing to stop the gods?
I strengthen the roots, rally the guardians, and I assist you. A revenant is destroyed, others remain. Fight on, Dweller. The blight must wither.
Alright, so that was taking out one of those revenants last time.
Striking the crossroads without forethought would be folly. The rebellion controlled it for far too long. Its defenses will be artfully hidden.
You will not press? Our forces are cunning and sharpened.
Fen'Harel's spite is endless and his trickery not easily overcome. He will have traps in wait. A crossroads in ruin is no good to us.
That was Elganon and Gillenane. Were we eavesdropping on the past?
It makes sense for Solas. His dagger, his enemies, his way of spying on them.
Let's hope it doesn't work both ways.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't, but that's awesome. Okay, so there was a little bit of insight into Elganon and Gillenane's little scheming, their machinations. That's cool. Yes, so, you know, we were kind of just fast traveling and jumping around to locations to get into the action, but it feels very rewarding, actually, to use the crossroads as that hub, as it seems to be intended for, like connecting them. Using the crossroads to travel through the Alluvians the long way allows you to be rewarded with more dialogue and potential story movements instead of just going straight from point A to point B. Take the scenic route. You might find something cool. So I'm glad we've kind of figured that out at this point.
This monster, the Gloom Howler, have you ever seen its like?
Never. No warden I've talked to has either. It's definitely blighted, but not darkspawn. Smart. Something special. Normally I'd relish a hunt like this, but now...
You'll find Asan's siblings. I'm certain.
So am I.
That's the thing. Like, the longer we take, the longer the Gloomhowler has them in her possession. And I mean, doesn't exactly sound like the friendliest person ever. Also, the Gloomhowler was saying that they belong to her. So, if considered not darkspawn, I really do wonder what that is going to entail. Definitely a curious case. Okay, this is our alluvion. We haven't gone down here yet. Or maybe we have, because that chest is actually open. So maybe I just, you know, fuck me, I guess. Yeah. I think a lot of the stuff like wolf statuettes and the other sources of corruption are lower down and on different islands. So we'll tackle those when we find our way over there. And we still have alluvions that have yet to be activated. Because we've got locations we have yet to visit. Those statues always threw me off because I'm like, Kirkwall. But Docktown is quite similar, at least in that sense of
that warehouse of
I guess like the theme of it.
Traders used it before. I remember Ferelden furs stored waist high 5 years back. You good?
You good?
Rook.
Asher. Shepherd.
Give me a hand.
In a moment.
And we're jumping.
Got some new supplies. Take a look.
So, what I will say about the concept of selling the valuables is great, but also at the same time, I'm like, ugh. You have to like pick through them. It looks like from what I'm seeing here that they might automatically be sorted by the most valuable. So I initially was about to sit here and go, oh, looking through everything is probably going to be a bit of a hassle because you can get some more money or more reputation with certain items with certain vendors. But the fact that it's automatically sorted by what is the most valuable makes me very happy. So I'm able to just kind of immediately get on that. So everything seems to be at like 3, and then that was at 5. So the idea that if it's for that specific vendor and it's 5 times more valuable to them, I will definitely be keeping that in mind. Let's upgrade that flying kite to a +7. And that defiant plate to a +7. And your Tevinter long cloak to a +7. Jump through those hoops. 25 rage on kills with duration abilities. Let's do that because we have a lot of gold. Regret. Triumph we will not allow. A carefully sculpted copy of a dragon rising. A moment of sacrifice. Magisters gloating. And soldiers blindly following orders. Inspiring to both Venatori and Shadow Dragon, though for opposite reasons. And we have... the skirmishers are... that's for... yeah, alright. Probably shouldn't have bought that. I need flawless ore for other things, but that's fine.
Keep safe out there.
There's always more, and we can buy flawless ore in the Crossroads anyway.
Piercing, slashing, stabbing, smashing, crushing. Whatever you need, I have the weapon.
New vendor, I think, because I don't remember them here. And we can buy ore from this person. So, no longer matters in regards to that. And you want that metal chunk? Hell yeah. So I guess, yeah, buying this like Arm knife and buying these valuables at these locations, it'll sell for more at different areas. But we'll grab a few materials.
Look after your swords, and they'll look after you.
Okay. And then if we have a look here, we've got a quest. And while we're here, we may as well pick that one up. Now, last time I was in Docktown, we did kind of speed through a little bit of exploration. And I think that's kind of... I was watching back the video and I was like, there was just more dead air because we're just kind of
spirits and the Venatori,
roaming around.
Hasn't had an easy time of late.
I was just kind of roaming around, so I did was just watching it, and I was a bit more meticulous than usual. I was just in a mood to cut out a lot of dead air, and I'm still trying to strike that balance between dead air exploration and stuff that's actually of value, because I know that people are mostly wanting to react to story content, lore development, and that sort of discussion, less so me just kind of walking around picking up a material. So there'll be times where it'll probably be a little more lax and times where there'll be a bit more cuts, and that's literally just going to be times where I was just walking around and there was nothing of value that happened. You know what I mean? Petting this dog, something of value that happened. Now what's this quest?
That woman. What's happened? What's going on?
My husband, Atticus, he was going to the snake nest, said he needed to help a friend, and he never came home. But when I ask inside, they say he never arrived. They're lying. I know it, but...
What's your name?
Sabina.
If we learn anything, we'll let you know. So, the snake nest.
Our next destination?
It's worth checking out.
Sure. Let's do this, because it shouldn't take too long. Feels like when we're doing Docktown side quests, though, we should have Nev, so I might just swap that at this beacon.
I heard that Dallas is floating around, looking into it.
Well, on that note of Nev Gallus, here she is. Actually, double healing ability, so let me change that.
I do also carry some cheese of indeterminate origin. It just shows up.
Resin, oils, I said it all.
It just shows up magically in my stock. Incredible.
Nothing like a fine piece of wood with a perfect hand.
Another thing that you'll probably see me cut out a lot is me running around hitting crates and boxes, because apparently they are absolutely filled with stuff. As you can see here, the +2 heartwood. It's a time sink for sure, hitting stuff to get really measly stuff back, but you probably won't see that on screen either, but you know. Don't get too excited for me crushing boxes.
Sure. He walked into my office. I said, Fred, can I call you Fred? He nodded. Seemed happy about it. If he doesn't like it...
Oh, Manfred doesn't mind. He quite likes you. Does the diminutive imply a certain level of comfort with the necromantic arts?
It shows a certain level of comfort with your...
Blood. Didn't Sabina's husband go missing around here? He could be hurt, or...
Well, anyway...
Does the diminutive imply a certain level of comfort with the necromantic arts?
It shows a certain level of comfort with your friend. The rest of it, well, that depends.
On what?
On what the mage using it is up to.
I love the Rook butt again being like, blood, everyone, guys, we should focus. And Nev's like, anyway, so about Fred, and so valid for that too. And a single boot. Atticus, I know this will arrive late, but I need to talk to you. I need help. Please, I'll be at the snake nest.
A letter for Atticus. Our missing person. Someone really wanted to meet at the snake nest. Why do I have a bad feeling about how that went? Blood. There's a trail.
Why do I have a bad feeling about that when? And then nobody responds to me at all. Scribbly drawing of a man, a boy, and a rabbit outside. A building that looks like the Snake Nest Bar. A rainbow is overhead.
A blood-stained shirt.
No cuts in the material. The blood didn't belong to the owner.
Nev Gallus on the job. Linus's journal. Nothing helps. No one helps. Reggie, my beautiful boy. He laughed at one of my stupid jokes, and if it hurt him, he can barely breathe, and it's not getting any better. I would do anything for him. I just need help. I'll do anything. I said I'd do anything, but I'm running out. Atticus was by last week. If he knew I needed help, he would show up. But I can't ask that of him. I can't, but Reggie, I asked for all of this.
A sick kid. His father thought Atticus could help, but something feels off.
I walk in, I see Codex, I read. I didn't realize that Rook was about to say something else. I need to not be so trigger happy with the codexes then, I guess. Write up new healer request, get prominent spot on board in the central market, payment to Krill, inform staff of time away, and fix cloth rabbit for Reggie. And we gotta keep looking. Feels like we wouldn't want to go back though. But that blood trail, like, it does go to that door. The blood trail does go to this door. I just can't open it. I need a storage key. Oh. Was this open before? The Randy Dowager Quarterly, Volume 1. A dog-eared and underlined quarterly missive of suspect virtue. The Randy Dowager battens down with the collected ties of the Archon, being a yarn of leaders entangled by passions unraveled, and status reversed by court and cord, a tightly woven exploration of empire straining at its borders. The Randy Dowager, exhibitions for the noble of thought, but spry of step. The lady herself says, well bound, as was the issue. 4 scarves, fluttered in shock out of 5, if only to reserve one for the wrists. Record book of Linus Prosper. Some names are circled, while others are struck through. The final name on the list is circled. Gregor, tips extra, here every 5th day. Octavian, unpaid tab, but good manners, here when the ship's in. Martin, complains about partner, nasty tongue. And Atticus, never regular, reliable otherwise.
This Linus, he must own the snake nest. And he knows Atticus. Alright, that snake nest bartender must know something. We need to talk to her. Again.
Again. Yeah, because we spoke to her before.
A man named Atticus came to the snake nest. We know he was headed here, that your boss Linus knows him. We've been to Linus's home.
All right, it's the boss. He's been acting weird since the kid got sick. Urgent meetings, always checking the storage. But you're Nev Gallus. If you think you can do something, I'll let you in.
I'll do what I can.
It's across the road.
And that's why we bring Nev all the time. For Dogtown Matters. Open that up. So that's now open from this side.
The bar storage. There has to be more here.
blood. Linus's storage notes. Storage must be kept neat as possible. Payments always made below. Keep floor here spotless.
All this under the bar storage.
No matter. We must press farther.
Send letter. Send Reggie to L for the night. See you away afterwards. Take another exit to leave. Curious starting to follow. Fix cloth rabbit for Reggie. Again? Or still the same task? Hello. Damn, okay. You dumb. Hello. All the dark fantasy Dragon Age stuff is just underground, of course. That makes sense. Scribbly drawing of a man, a boy, and a rabbit on a sailboat. Another one. Right on. Very interesting ritual you got going on here, fellas. We're gonna not pay attention to the hanging Venatori. Blood-smeared page. The payments don't end. The demon repeats. Would you trade another's innocent blood for his? Man, he's doing, like, blood sacrifices with a demon for his child's health. That is rough. Baker, I said, yes, I'd do anything. And Reggie got better. It started with strangers, but I was running out, and Atticus. We were friends, and I still... Reggie, I'm sorry. I wasn't the man you needed. I didn't even fix the cloth rabbit. But I love you always, and I'll break this demon's ties to us. Oh man, so that cloth rabbit was the same task, not just fixing it again. And then look at who we're looking at up here.
Linus, the snake nest owner. He made a pact with a demon to save his kid. But the price, it was too high.
I'll follow up. Make sure the kid's still taken care of.
There's a key. We should see what else is here.
God damn, dude. This is the kind of dark questline stuff that people will skip over. I can't swim! That people will skip over and then complain that it's lacking. And I'm like, well, this shit's here. You just have to look for it. I think, oh, Jesus. I think even outside of that, the game is pretty dark anyway. It's just easy to focus on the parts of the game that are not so dark. But the game is definitely pretty fucking nuts with it. That is a strong beam. Stash of victims' belongings. An engraved locket found with various discarded trinkets, Atticus and Sabina.
How many did he kill? All for a demon. This was Atticus. His locket. We can return it to Sabina.
Yeah, damn. So that's Atticus, and then this is owner. Oh, okay. Well, we're not doing that yet. Is it this? Damn, where was it? Was it back this way? No, because we dropped down, didn't we? So I think we need to actually... We go through with the power. Or... stays with us. Oh, and it goes here.
There. Much sturdier than the old one.
And I will say, still like this far into the game in terms of exploration, a lot of these locations, they still just feel very point A to B to C.
For you about Minrathous, Nev?
We'll get there. Point A to B to C in terms of like room to room. It's like, here's the bridge to cross, and here's the zip line to take, and it's still very video gamey, sort of painfully so in terms of that environmental navigation. And I'm always like, I never feel like I'm naturally exploring a world. I feel like I'm just kind of making my way through video game levels instead of it feeling like a world that I am navigating, sadly.
Do you?
I've heard its mage circles are the strongest in Tevinter.
So they claim.
One does hear things, boasts about particular methods and so on.
Funny. We hear the same about Navarro.
That's funny. Oh, that was a portal. I literally just stood on it and was taken.
There's other ways to get into the catacombs.
There is much a maze as the necropolis. Less populated, but far more chaotic.
Oh, there's a note there. Hold on. Bloody hell. Marisa, once in a while I call out, someone replies. It can't always be the wind or the sea. Down here, almost there. I have to try, Marisa. That group was my responsibility. Their loss is my shame. I can't turn my back now, Ignace. Well, there was a demon blood sacrifice thing going on down here. I can only imagine. Yeah. I can only imagine. Holes dug in the sides of the cavern. Footprints, a doll made of rags, bones, gnawed on. Campfire smoke, burning cinnamon. Their calls are so close now. They're right behind the walls. Last letter. Out of writing material, but I'll be back soon.
The catacombs appear extensive indeed.
Oh.
How'd you get that?
They...
Buddy. I should have known.
Been used to store food during war and blight. Kept Minrathous alive more than once. But that was never the whole story. There's secrets older than the city itself down here.
At least this one isn't trapped. Death is the only path before me. Let my blood seal the path of those who follow. I leave one final curse for the spies on my heels. The spirits will claim the dead, and none will claim what lies with me. Okay. Where did you come from? Where did you come from, random cat?
Something sealed.
Venatori note. Zara released it back here. Leave it be. Let Docktown know true desperation. Without mages in true control, that's all our city will ever know. I will save us from this soon enough. Aelia.
Faster.
The magic is strange.
Something sealed past where? You mean in there where we already went, or sometimes the dialogue triggers at strange moments. Like when we were in the necropolis, there was like dialogue that was just happened at weird times, and I missed what it was actually for. Okay, so here we have to get around.
I spy trouble ahead.
Let's finish.
Marisa, I'm sorry things got heated, but I just can't give up on Toth's Gullet. Part of that tunnel is carved out of bedrock. The sea isn't going to claim it easily. And if I'm right, there's a way the gullet connects to the route we're mapping now, and I'm going to find it. Ignis. Oh, this is the Darkspawn tunnel that we were in, and we cleared this out. However, it seems as though... shit. It seems as though that doesn't matter.
Let's end this.
Cleared this of Darkspawn the first time.
Made it through.
But maybe there's something different to it now.
So, necromancy's your calling?
Like most Navaran mages, I hope it's not a concern.
We'll find out.
Your own practice. Your work must find you in dangerous corners. Your experience with blood magic.
You want to know if I've tried it myself?
Well, in so many words.
Never have, never would.
Nice. Yeah, we've gone through this area before, and the same areas that were blocked before are blocked now. So this was the portal, I think, that we activated just before. And when you are lost, fret not. Your steps will always lead you somewhere. And with Silas's blessing, and no matter how many steps it takes, that somewhere will be home. Yeah, we read this. So that portal being there makes sense now. We just still haven't figured out how to get in there for that chest. Marisa, the old route's mostly passable. We just need to shore up some of the paths, and the tides have opened new passages. Remember the quarry rescue last summer? We lost that elven woman and her child, but I swear they're down here. We've seen signs, and we kept people hidden here for weeks. They'll need a guide to get out. If you find this, know I went forward. I have to do this. Well, we'll leave that for now, and we'll head back to Sabina, and we'll resolve this little number.
Talos gives you a side of sauce. You could offset that metallic flavor you were talking about.
Food and sauce doesn't fix bad flavor.
Sabina.
You're back. But Atticus...
The man who took Atticus's life. He thought it would save his child. But it wasn't right.
Atticus.
If there's anything you need, I'll see what I can do.
I don't know. I need time and to put his name on the wall of light. Thank you. At least for letting me know.
Dogtown's desperate at being targeted, then falling victim to demons. The Snake Nest owner, the people Compassion found. What if it's all the work of the same demon?
It's a good theory, and bad news for the people it targets.
If we keep up the work in Dogtown, maybe we'll find more.
This is nice because this connects to this. Pinnacle of its kind. Stop a demon sealed inside the necropolis that has spread its influence around the world. And this, in the necropolis, having demon connections in other places is incredible. And we were right when this popped up and it was talking about the formless one. That is one of the forbidden ones in the whole, like, Gax Kang, bloody blah. That group. The formless one being another one of those, which is awesome. It really, really is. So I'm very curious to develop and progress that side quest. I'll tell you that much. But for now, Cobbled Swan time.
Come to think of it.
You know, Emmrich, when a necromancer moves in, I thought we might get undead bursting through the floor. But you keep things quiet, and Fred's a good neighbor.
I forget that, like... Alright, so there's something that's a little bit of an issue for me, is in Dogtown specifically, there's the dialogue bridge. You cross dialogue bridge, and then I forget that 2 meters in front of dialogue bridge is combat encounter. And this is the second time now that I've gotten dialogue, walked a few meters forward, and got into combat. And I feel like if you're going to have a dialogue trigger, you need to space it out between your combat trigger. They just really wanted to show off the interrupted dialogue, didn't they?
Understood!
Time to end the game.
Triple.
Masterfully done, Rook.
As you were saying?
Emmrich, when a necromancer moves in, I thought we might get undead bursting through the floor. But you keep things quiet, and Fred's a good neighbor.
You'll have to forgive my own worries. All I've read of Tevinter...
I can respect the wariness.
Dragon drink. Who led the charge?
Did you see what it said in the papers?
Harding's here.
You do anyway. You're not a builder.
The team pursues leads that will reveal disturbing information about the spread of the blight, but also gain some unexpected aid.
Why did Morgan want to meet in Minrathous? Isn't she helping the Veil Jumpers in Arlathan?
Indeed. But today we have a guest, and she needed the anonymity that only a city provides.
Well, look who it is.
Good to see you, Lace.
Rook, you remember how Varric and I served the Inquisition? Well, this is Inquisitor Llewellyn, the woman who led us all.
That's my Inky! Right next to Morgan. So needs a lowdown meeting in Minrathous, huh? Inquisitor Llewellyn, you should be on the front line for this type of fight. You should come to the lighthouse. Come and hang out. Oh my god. Oh no, not the why are you still here? Some things never change. We don't ask Morrigan this question, we ask our own Inquisitor. Why are you still here? Disapproval -10. Pleased to meet you, Inquisitor Llewellyn. It's an honor. I've heard so much about you.
It's an honor to meet you.
Relax. I won't be trying to arrest you like the first warden.
You heard about that?
Dorian Pavis is an old friend. He filled me in. Indeed. You have had many eyes upon you, Rook. Morrigan and Harding have told me about what you've accomplished since taking over for Varric. You've put together an impressive team, and you've got the best chance, maybe the only chance, to stop Elganan and Gillenane.
What about you? What about you? Oh man, the "this is on you" comment. This is on you. It's been 10 years. Where have you been?
Sounds like I'm cleaning up your mess.
Rook.
No, Harding. This is my mess.
The Inquisition sealed the breach and stopped Corypheus. We saved the world.
We also left southern Thedas vulnerable to Qunari invasion, as the Exalted Council showed.
But the Inquisition didn't start the Mage Rebellion. We didn't start any of this.
We did our best, but our best had consequences. When those consequences became apparent, I disbanded the Inquisition rather than let it turn into something someone else had to stop. Too many leaders claim credit while avoiding responsibility. I won't be one of them. So, Rook, I am asking you to help me clean up my mess.
Okay.
And while you do so, Rook, the Inquisitor will do her best to ensure that the rest of the world remains intact. A daunting prospect, given that most of the South is under siege by Darkspawn.
It's that bad?
If not for the Inquisitor, the South would have collapsed completely. She has not been idle while you assembled your team.
All right. The Inquisitor has been working hard in the South. Okay, fine. There's shit going down there. I get it. But also, you were the one who put the knife in the Tevinter map at the end of Trespasser. Inky, you're the one who lost your arm. You're the one who is in a relationship with Solas. He's in my head, by the way. I need, like, Rook to find out that my Inquisitor and Solas were together. And he just spies. Hey, could you spare Leliana? If she is or may not be the divine, which you cannot confirm. Yes, how are you here?
If the South is in such turmoil, why come up here just to talk? And how did you get here so fast?
Did you think you were the only one to unlock the secrets of the Illuvians?
Morrigan helped the Inquisition use the Illuvians to travel.
While I lack the Dreadwolf's Viravus, I may still scurry between the walls of this world to be where I might do the most good. The Inquisitor asked to meet you, and I thought it might help you to meet her.
Tell me more about the South.
I thought the gods were mostly active up here. It's really that bad in the South?
Elganon and Gillenane have indeed restricted their activities to the north. But the forces they deployed to the south, the strange new Darkspawn, have spread fear and corruption greater than any blight in history. Darkspawn have cut through the center of Orlais. Valrorio and Halam Shiral are barely holding out. Ferelden would have fallen already, if not for help from Orzammar. With Denerim lost, The Fereldans are holding the line at Redcliffe. The Free Marchers have the worst of it. Acting Viscount Aveline Valen led the evacuation of Kirkwall. She's taking her people and what's left of her army to help Prince Vale keep Starkhaven.
We didn't know. My ma...
Don't worry. I called in a favor with the Divine. Your mother's safe with some old friends.
Thank you.
The Inquisition might be gone, but my name still carries some weight. I've used it to get people working together where they can. Again, the South is my problem, not yours, Rook. You stop the gods, and I'll make sure the rest of Thedas doesn't fall to the blight.
You know what? I accept this. I accept this. So, you get the Inquisitor, and we have these questions floating around. You're like, fuck, it's been 10 years. What has she been doing, sitting on her ass? And obviously that's not the case, but it is like, it's just us waiting for the information. What the hell have you been doing? What's been going on? And this is so satisfying. And having our Inquisitor also connect Dragon Age 2 in, throwing both Aveline and Sebastian in, is so cool. We get a bloody Starkhaven reference. We've got... Let's go hang out with Sebastian at Starkhaven. That is wild. An acting Viscount Aveline, because Varric, Varric is a little bit occupied at the moment. Oh, that's beautiful. That really is beautiful. All this time, still in Kirkwall, of course. Oh, it's beautiful with the name drops, and then Inquisitor gets to do the whole called in a favor with the Divine. Yeah, all three of them are my friends, whichever one is the Divine. So, yeah, it's acceptable, and especially with that sort of, hey, this blight. Oh, by the way, the worst blight in all of history is happening right now. So the South is a little occupied. So Dorian may be hanging up into Vinter, but Sarah's doing Red Jenny work all over the place. Iron Bull is killing blighted darkspawn dragons down south, probably. Vivian is doing something, and so is Leliana and Cassandra. Whichever one of them is the Divine, they're doing paperwork, and then the rest are fighting and spying and magicking and whatever. Cole, probably struggling a lot because we made him more spirit than human, but he did get a girlfriend, so I don't know what he's up to these days, but, who knows? There's a lot for our dear old Inquisition companions. Oh, and Solas, the best Inquisition companion of all. Would you like to hear about him? Yeah, this is touching. I do wish that the Inquisitor was able to be more present, but we're clearly getting like a, hey, I exist. Not on the level of like Hawk or Alistair coming in and being like an actual force with you. And luckily I don't have to sacrifice her. Hopefully. We're just coming in for a little clandestine meeting. Honestly, this is rough in terms of what we need, but I would just say I need your connections. That kind of applies to both.
I've been having some trouble getting people in authority to listen to us. If you help with some of your political strength.
My political strength? Tevinter hates me. The Venatori helped make sure of that. And while I have a few friends in the Wardens, their leadership hasn't much cared for me since we clashed at Adamant Fortress.
The Inquisitor did not come all this way to leave you with empty words, however. She brought something no one else could.
A wolf statuette. We've found others like it in the Crossroads. Where'd you find yours?
I found it right around the time Solas's ritual failed, when he was pulled into the Fade. We've examined the magic, and it's tied to the Veil. To him. Somehow.
Solas is ancient, and his magic is part of him in a way far beyond that of mortals. I suggest you take it to the Crossroads and see if something in the lighthouse calls to it. Perhaps it will yield some insight into your new ally.
Here we go. So the Solas update. So, Inky is aware of what happened with Solas. My Inquisitor looks so good in this character creator. I love that it's like as close as possible, and then I grew her hair out. And like, I don't know if it's the lighting, but whatever they did to Morrigan in this game, oh my god. That's my wife right there. Now, has anyone here heard of what's happening with the hero of Ferelden these days? How's that guy doing? Greatest blight in history? Do you think he came back to help out? Can you mention that at all? No, you can't. Because he may or may not be dead. He may or may not be a father. Friends in the Wardens, the Inquisitor says. Alistair, where is he? Or Stroud, where is that guy that I never met? Or Loghain, where's that guy? Nobody knows. Damn, Solas is helping. Let's say Solas is helping. Unwillingly, but he is helping.
Right now, Solas is giving us the information we need to track down the gods.
Yes, he is a vital source of information and advice, just as he was to the Inquisition before. He is the Dread Wolf. He led a rebellion that lasted centuries. How many alliances do you think he has made and broken?
Solas was important to me. If this statuette helps you understand him, if it uncovers something that... Honestly, I don't know. I wish I did. But this feels like a part of him. And whatever he and I once were, I think... I hope... it might help you.
We should go, Inquisitor. The armies in the south need you.
Right. Harding, stay sharp. You're my eyes in the north.
Always, Inquisitor.
Rook, good luck. If I come across anything else that can help, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you.
God, I love that we got to have a conversation with our previous protagonist. God damn, I really did love that. Oh, and she's such a good voice actor. Hearing that voice, man, it's just so good. The way that she delivers those lines, and the missing, and the missing Velasline. Oh, there's just so much weight in those words. 10 years of it. God, that's so good. It's wholeheartedly an acceptable scene. And I say acceptable, not in like satisfactory and it does the job, but as in, I think that was really good. I think that was so needed, especially with like the cliffhanger of Trespasser and the weight that it's been. Do I wish that the Inquisitor and co were more involved in this, considering how Trespasser ended? Absolutely. Did that scene help ease my pain about that? Also, yes. And they do make that effort to be like, look, it's not like we're just not here. There is stuff going on outside of your conflict too. The world is ending. The gods are out in the north. But you have a team. You have people. You are capable. And the south, where we usually operate, is also under attack. We need to have capable people everywhere. Hearing the south of Thedas, hearing those locations. Denerim has fallen, by the way. And they've fallen back to Redcliffe. That's pretty huge. There was a Kirkwall evacuation, Orlay's getting sliced and diced, but a lot of stuff going on down there. I miss it. I miss the South, let me tell you. A letter to Dorian. Sparkler, thanks for the book recommendations. The library and the Viscount's Keep could use a little more class. Kirkwall has been calmer since I got back from my trip to see old friends in Orlais. The end of the Inquisition flooded the free marches with able-bodied ex-soldiers looking for work in warmer weather. Suddenly, I have more hands than I have shit to fix or things to fight. It's a good problem to have. Of course, a third of them still secretly work for Charter, but I'll put up with it. Some of the spies are better craftsmen than the craftsmen. Leliana always did have an eye for talent. Give May my love, would you? It'll be a while before I can make a trip to Minrathous again, which is the only family I've got left that I'm still speaking to. I believe with May, that's Mayvarus, right? who's also in a novel. So I think there's a lot of like references to the novels in between that have been like bridging the gap. And this game has kind of pushed that more than anything of like, hey, maybe read them books. With Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, and Inquisition, they all relatively are separate yet connected enough to be like, it's fine, stuff happens with people in between. Because the events of Inquisition, Trespasser, and Veilguard are like this, going into this game, you're starving, right? And because of the, just the anticipation of this, you're starving. Like, what the hell's happened? So it's there's a lot more weight behind the question, what the hell has happened in this time period? And so there are the books, and it's like we have little tidbits of information that's been coming out of what Solas has been doing, and the dagger thing, and there are characters and what they've been doing. So I will definitely be reading the books. It is hard for me to put the time aside to sit down and read because a lot of my time is focused on doing Let's Play content. So it's like I absolutely want to. It just is a matter of balancing time I don't necessarily have. But there is definitely a lore motivation in looking into that. I wholeheartedly appreciate that there are these bits and pieces that are filling us in the codex. But that was really, really nice. I liked that a lot. So that encounter was a short and sweet little Morrigan and Inquisitor time, which was very cute. And now we're going to go back to the lighthouse because now meeting Evka and Antoine in the Hosberg wetlands is us getting into our Grey Warden time.
Masked mystery, secrets of the Viper, reliable source.
So let's go and travel to the lighthouse. We'll see what our characters have to say about things. Because we've got to go return this wolf statuette there as well and see what we can learn. New missive available. Message from the front. The fight for the south. Rook, though the circumstances prompting our meeting were perhaps not what either of us would have chosen, I'm glad we did meet. I'd heard of you from Varric, of course, and Harding spoke and continues to speak highly of you. However, the greatest vote of confidence came from Morrigan. For some reason. She's always had a knack for spotting those who might shift the foundations of the world. I wonder if that's because she potentially drank from the well or something, but we don't know. Having Morrigan and the Inquisitor literally hanging out together only makes that choice even more of a sore spot. Considering that they only pulled from Inquisition, mostly Trespasser, it does really surprise me that the well choice wasn't also a considered element of that, Who drank from that damn well? It is important. It really is, I think. But there you go. So even if they don't know it yet, so it was she who suggested we meet, and as always, heeding her counsel proved to be the wisest decision. Unfortunately, I send grim tidings. The echoes of Solas's ritual and the escape of the gods ring across the south, and the smell of war is heavy in the air. In Orlais, a splinter faction of the nobility has made common cause with the Venatori and launched an assault on both the royal forces of Orlais and the border keeps of Ferelden. Arntam corsairs harass shipping out of Ostwick, and in the far southern wilds, blight has emerged once more. Darkspawn in great numbers have been spotted near the ruins of Ostagar. But I told you to leave the south to me, and I stand by that. I share this news not to ask for help, but to remind you that you and your people are not alone. The gods stir up the greatest evils in Thedas, yet its people stand stalwart and resolute. Take care of the gods in the north, and I'll make sure that the south handles itself, and when this is all over, we'll drink to victory. First round's on me. Yours, the Inquisitor. There you go. The South is having their own Dragon Age Origins moment happening once again. you know? They got the blight happening everywhere and people fighting. I hope the wardens and the treaties are in effect. Basically, hey guys, they're busy. Alright? Follow up on the snake nest. Rook, you remember Linus Prosper, the snake nest owner? Everything he did for that demonic deal. He thought it would save his kid. After we found Linus, I asked around. Linus had been raising Reggie alone. I don't want the kid left to fend for himself. Before the end, Linus sent Reggie to stay with a friend. The friend wasn't expecting the arrangement to be long-term, but they're willing to give the kid a home. The news wasn't easy to break, but he has people looking out for him. I didn't find evidence of demons around or lingering blood magic on Reggie. The demon's interest in this family appears broken for now. The Shadow Dragons will keep an eye out just in case. There you go. Now, in terms of our companions... Oh. Updates. We got quests and another quest. So, important dialogue, quests, timed dialogue. Let's go and check in with everybody. I would say we do the standard check-ins first. And then we talk to everyone, and then we do the wolf statuette.
Damn it. I should be out there with you. Bianca's getting cranky cooped up in here.
You should be out there with me, and Bianca is damn broken, buddy. All this resting you're doing. Get to fixing that. Get to fixing that, my boy. I feel like you should go for the missable dialogue first. I don't know if talking to a companion that has a quest would fast forward and go past missable stuff. I just don't want to risk it. Guess I can always save too, just in case.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Please do. I need to hear an actual voice now and then.
Can't imagine why.
I'm starting to dream that I'm a griffin. Squawk.
Keep dreaming. It's good to have goals in life.
The real dream is getting him to take a nap. So what brings you by?
Just curious, really. Wondering what it's like being a Grey Warden. They've always been these legendary warriors living apart from the world.
Don't know about that. I spent time with people who were bad right up till they took their vow.
How so?
Weishaupt is the last stop for the wrong sort. If you're facing prison or worse, you can always join the Grey Wardens and take your chances with the blight.
Has your first warden always been, well...
A stubborn bastard?
One way of putting it.
He means well in his own way. He's old-fashioned. Tradition is everything. Keeps us disciplined. We never deviate from it.
He'll have to. Elganon and Gillenane won't play by his rules.
If he even believes in them. The man doesn't have much imagination. Even the right sort can be the wrong sort.
And just how wrong are the wrong sort?
Thieves, brigands, pirates, and the odd murderer now and then.
Sounds fun. Right up to the murdering.
At least now they're murdering Darkspawn.
I heard about Weishaupt. Never been there.
It's a giant fortress and home of the Grey Wardens. It's been standing for as long as anyone remembers. At least since the first blight.
Does it have floating buildings like the lighthouse?
No, but things float up from the latrines.
Huh. Fun bunch you hung out with.
The wrong sort have their charm.
A hot meal and warm bed in Weishaupt is better than rotting in some dungeon.
It would be, but the food's always cold, and Weishaupt's drafty in the winter.
Are you really selling it?
It gets better. When darkspawn threaten a village, when innocent people are in danger, then we swoop in, swords held high, armor gleaming, while 100 faces look to us for salvation. And they all live to see the sunrise because of what we do.
Okay. Now I get it.
Best part is the warden fighting alongside you. Maybe they've done some bad things in the past, but after that day, it's different. There's some honor in their life where there wasn't before. Nothing like seeing redemption happen before your eyes.
That's cool. I like that perspective. Considering everything that we've done and experienced with wardens.
We all need that chance. Put past sins to right.
It makes the warden stronger to have people in our ranks who've lived in the shadows. When the storm comes, you don't want farmers and florists fighting archdemons. It takes the wrong sort to put the world right.
Kinda like us, I suppose.
Minus the skeleton butler.
I don't know. Manfred the Warden. Has a ring to it.
Stand up for him.
How about we quit while we're ahead? See you around.
You Davin, you're a stinker. Manfred the Warden works for me. Okay. Now we check in with Lucanis. We can't, because it's Taash first, because Taash is here.
Why do you run around in fancy mage clothes?
Because I like them?
You're barely even wearing a shirt.
You fight Anton with a bare midriff.
Everything all right?
We're fine. Just trading fashion tips. So what I wear is a problem for you?
It's not. It's just... Why dress like that? Are you trying to make your mother happy?
Is this about what your mother said on the beach?
No.
What'd she say?
Tash's mother said that Taash acted more like a man than a woman.
And you feel like you should wear dresses to make her happy?
No. Can you imagine me in a dress? I'd look stupider than I'd look stupid.
Ooh. Canary specific dialogue about the gender.
I wasn't raised under the Qune, but our people believe some jobs are for men and others are for women.
Yep.
You dress like a warrior. And for Canary, a warrior is a man's job. Is that why your mother said what she said?
No. I mean, maybe. But it's fine. She says stuff like that all the time.
And?
It feels... right. When she says I act more like a man. It feels... right. Why does it feel right?
Taash, do you like being a woman?
Nobody likes being a woman.
Ah.
This is stupid. Forget I said anything.
It's not stupid, Taash. What you're saying is important. You can figure this out at your own pace, but you're already talking about it. And that's a good step.
And I don't even know what it is.
Some of my friends in Minrathous talk about not feeling comfortable in their own skin. As a man, as a woman. I could see if they'd like to talk. Maybe what they say fits how you're feeling.
Yeah. Okay. And thanks. You do look really pretty.
Oh?
To look at. I'd smudge your makeup.
Thanks for letting me down gently.
I love it. It's like, you don't need to wear dresses. Nev's wearing pants. I don't think we got any companions wearing dresses. Let's talk about that scene. So, it's interesting because I know that this is topical and it's the hot debate at the moment. What I will say about it is we're witnessing a character but we're also witnessing a person figuring out a confusion and something that they're not actually sure of. And that's fucking awkward. Not just for everyone around them, but for them. It's a very difficult and weird time. And all that I can say about it is, for people that are uncomfortable about people struggling with their identity and not feeling comfortable or safe in their own skin, just imagine how it feels for them. Because honestly, I wouldn't want to. I think I consider myself lucky that I feel confident in who I am and how I feel as a person, but I know that there are a lot of people that don't, and a lot of people that haven't for years and years and years and years and years. And that's the part that people don't know about a lot of the time, because they like to erase or hide that part of society, is the sheer amount of people that have hidden their identities for so long because of fear of judgment, or it just being too difficult, not even worth the trouble of, man, I've been a man or I've been a woman my whole life and I don't feel it, but I don't have anyone to talk to about it. Like, especially when you think about the fact that a lot of generations before us, going back years and years and years, love to sweep things under the rug, don't super love to air things out, and also stuck to a status quo. And when things deviated from that, it was scary and weird and alienating. Even more alienating than how it feels, now when it comes a little bit more to the forefront. It's very topical and modern in the sense that we hear about it, we read about it, we see about it a lot, and that's social media. That we just have so much more of an expansion on so many different things, not just gender and society and whatever. It's like everything is amplified so much more than it used to be when technology was very limited. Communication was very limited. You had your community around you, and then the internet connected all of us so easily, so seamlessly. So you do get a lot of this mentality where people go, this stuff only cropped up in the last decade. I'm like, no, it's always been there, and you've got historical records of this and accounts of this over years and years and years and years. But, this is where you get the archaeologists dug up these fascinating companions, and they were roommates, of course. Woman and woman buried side by side. I'm sure they were the best of friends. And, there's all these things about queer identity and just queerness in general, both for man, woman, or otherwise, that has been through history forever. Like, forever. But people like to think that it's new, and it's new for them. And that's the scary part, is a lot of people are being confronted with this, and this is why I can see that people are like reacting harshly or negatively to it, is because when things are presented to us as humans, when they are new, they are weird and they're strange, and the knee-jerk reaction is to reject a lot of that stuff. And that's why people have hidden for so long. But with like a blow up of social media and community, and people finding people that they connect with, they feel safer to talk about it, be more open with it. And that's why we see a lot more of this dialogue and discussion. I think what this is an attempt to show that journey and to help educate, but there are going to be a lot of people that will fairly say, does it have a place in my Dragon Age game? It's a tough thing to balance, and it's why a lot of people are causing a fuss. And I don't have any negative opinions on it. I think what I am getting exposed to with Taash makes sense with her character. We say her because at the moment that is kind of where we're at. But we'll see how we go. I'm giving it obviously a very fair go. I have a lot of people that have gone through similar journeys that I know personally, so I understand what that is like in that sense. I haven't experienced it myself, so I don't sit here and be like, I don't want this in my video game, because I know that this is important for a lot of people that love and play video games. It's not personally my journey, But this is the thing. I don't have to engage with it, and neither do the people that don't want to, because it's not for you. You know what I mean? Like, people interacting with that companion and that companion quest will find representation there, and it's very important for that. We have characters that are the heroic figures that we love and relate to, and we're only getting more and more of those characters that represent so many different aspects of humanity, because we're such a broad species. There's so many different people and so many different elements to who we are as people, that seeing yourself in a character or seeing yourself in a story feels awesome. It's why you have people going, I'm Batman, in the most generic sense. You've got like a lot of people that will relate to that somehow. There's the meme of like, people go to the movies and they're like, can't wait to make this my personality forever because I relate, or I found something that I see in the character that I see in myself. And whenever there is a situation where there is someone that they don't relate to, there's a negative reaction to that, as if they're having their representation taken away, where it's not. It's just evening the playing field a little bit. So a long-winded tangent to say I'm interested to see where this will go. I think it is an interesting subject to handle. It's not the best time at the end of the world, but that's the thing. For them, it kind of is the end of their world. Their world is upside down and they're trying to figure it out, and there never really is a good time for something like that. So that's the thing. But I'm a very open-minded person. I find things easier to digest than some people, I suppose. So we'll see how that goes. I do find it interesting that there's like an element of Taash that's like slightly judgy and confused when she's talking with Nev, being like, why do you dress like that? Like, because she's processing information from her mother and struggling with that, being like, when my mother says these things, it feels kind of right. Like, I identify with that, you know? So we'll see how that develops over time, but I'm very, very curious about it. We got a pretty interesting team. I just, as Rook, don't feel super connected as part of the group. I feel connected to the team members on like that one-on-one level, but it's in the sense where you go and hang out with them one-on-one, but in a group, they hang out with each other. So we'll continue to learn with them one-on-one and then eavesdrop on them when they're all hanging out. But we got more codex for the Lords of Fortune after having that Taash scene. So Taash's notes, meeting shadow dragons to talk gender stuff. Writing notes to work through gender crap. Showing to Rook for help maybe. Maverus pretty. Tarquin tough. Both trans. Oh, interesting. Okay. I didn't know that about Mavarus, but we got that information about Tarquin. They're queer as hell over there. Both open about being trans, and said I could share stuff if it helped me on my journey. I did not ask for a journey. Trans means was other gender, then changed? Wait, no. Was always new thing, just now acknowledged, not changing, affirming. Trans woman is woman. Not feeling right in body is dysmorphia. Whole big thing. Could feel like want to be guy instead of girl. No. Could feel like not connected to body. Not everyone does this. Could feel uncomfortable with girls who act more feminine. No, I like girls. Girls smell good. But I like hanging out with lords more than girls. Ashamed of not doing what your gender should do. Getting euphoria is feeling right. Non-binary means not man or woman. Can feel like either. Can look like guy, girl, neither. Some use she, he. Some swap. Some use they. But still single with name. Flynn is non-binary. They are coming this way. Confusing, but sure. Also gender fluid, feels different on different days, can switch pronouns. I don't think that's me. Agender, bigender, demigender, others, lots of different ones. Not me, but okay. Never too late. Valid, even if no words. When younger, blah, blah, blah. Mevaris saw notes and is mad. Write this down. Exactly. You're valid. People will say you're not enough this or too much that. Do not let it diminish you. No two journeys are alike. That's wonderful. Embrace it. Did you get all that? Okay, fine. Now, this note specifically, this feels more modern than anything that I've ever read in Dragon Age, in the sense that this really is how we view it in our world today, in terms of how these people and this group relate to one another and how they engage in this sort of dialogue and identity and gender identity and all that kind of stuff. What we're seeing here is the Shadow Dragons, so like the Tevinter notes on these things, because we had Krem in Inquisition and there was Qunari language for that. It was the Acunath lock? I don't have the word. I'm sure it's probably come up in discussion. So what we're having is actual words for that in the Qun language, which exists, but Taash is getting taught from a different society that feel a bit more knowledgeable and sort of it's kind of normal and standard for this society. So they're teaching Taash in that way of like, hey, we've already gone through this stuff. This is what this is. Here's a little bit of like a primer. And again, people are going to read this, and I understand that there are going to be people that are going to read it and be like, I don't want this. And it's whatever. Personally, it's not for me. But not in the sense that I dislike it. It's just obviously not something that I relate to. And that is why I was just saying there is representation that is important for so many people. And this isn't my representation, and that's okay. But I can see what they're doing, and I respect it because I can see that it is important for a lot of other people. I think that a lot of people skip over the codex anyway and don't read stuff. So this isn't personally being delivered into your mailbox and framed on your wall for you to study, you know? So it's not attacking people that don't relate to this stuff. It is also there for people that relate to this stuff. In your fantasy role-playing game where you can role-play as the character that you want to be, you know? This is the really interesting debate that comes up in role-playing games is, if it's a game where you can be whoever you want to be, however you want to be, why are people getting mad when people want to be a certain way in their game? There are so many men that play as female characters. So many of them. For so many different reasons. And there are so many females that play as males in their video games for all of their own reasons as well. You just get more options. It's like you can be a spectrum of people and identities however you want to be seen. There have always been masculine women, feminine men, all over the place, all the time. It's just getting in a situation where people start identifying people or labeling people, and then there are people that don't like the labels and don't like the identity, and that's why there's this fluid nature to it. I wasn't going to talk on it. I wasn't planning to talk on it more or add on to my previous thoughts, but then I didn't expect a codex entry about it. So we talked about it a little bit more. But again, it's just more options. I think Taash is a really interesting companion anyway, so...
Lucanis? Where is he?
Oh, God. Is he being spiteful? Has he moved on the map? Oh, he has moved on the map. He's gone down towards the Evanurus. Interesting. We'll keep doing that because we'll go to Valara after this. We'll just focus on the missable... Or not... Yeah, missable dialogue.
Calling it now. Bell's next serial ends on a cliffhanger.
Watch Dragon Age of the Veilguard end on another cliffhanger, and then I'll cry. See what Harding is doing?
Why are there so few books about the Titans?
Good question. Which you can relate that to what I was just talking about as well. There are people in power and people in control that like to write their own history, if you will. There's a very famous quote, history is written by the victor. And a lot of people like to write things in their way, and if they don't like certain things that did happen or are truthful, they have the power to hide and cover up those things also. The Titans. Why are there no books about the Titans? Because they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know about the Titans. Because that gets in the way of the established narrative, and that's weird, and like... Titans? Nah, no way. It's always been this way. How dare our history be tied so closely to the elves, despite the evidence?
Back, demon! No further!
Isn't standing up to them supposed to work?
Let Lucanis go! Don't make us hurt both of you!
What's going on? Lucanis?
It's not Lucanis, it's the demon. It's taking him over. He's trying to leave.
Smells like jam and brimstone.
Rook, do something!
Jam and brimstone. Okay. It is so weird and interesting having a abomination on your team, different to Anders, right? Because Anders seemingly had a lid on things, and I say that loosely considering how Anders' story went, but Anders merging with Justice and then Justice becoming Vengeance, we started seeing that leaking out and developing over time, whereas we're in a situation where we've met Lucanis, and Lucanis is already, like, Spite appears and talks to him, and we see that, like, internal monologue, in a way that we didn't with Justice / Vengeance. So having an abomination on the team is kind of wild. I've been waiting for some Lucanis stuff, and it does make me very interested in the opposite choice of saving Treviso instead of Minrathous to get more out of Lucanis as well.
Spite! This man is not your puppet, and stunts like this won't change that.
How did... Rook? Taash?
You tried to walk through the Alluvion in your sleep.
Spite wanted out.
I need coffee.
Man, this man is obsessed with coffee. I think it's like every second dialogue for him.
Are you sure you're all right?
This could be better. It's hard for Spite to take control when I'm awake, so I try to stay awake.
You can't just stay awake forever. I think that would kill you.
I'll be more careful next time.
So I don't sleep. I drink coffee. Caffeine. Stay awake. Tie yourself down.
We have to make Spite understand that he's endangering you.
He's Spite, not learning. He doesn't listen to anyone. Don't worry about it. This won't happen again. And thanks.
I told him not to tie himself down so I wouldn't get more disapproval. Because he'd probably be like, screw you, mate. Questions on demonic possession. Why do demons seek to possess the living? History claims that they are malevolent spirits, the first children of the Maker, angry at their creator for turning on them, and jealous of those creations he considered superior. They stare across the veil at the living, and do not understand what they see, yet they know that they crave it. They desire life. They pull the living across the veil when they sleep and prey on their psyche with nightmares. Whenever they can, they cross the veil into our world to possess it outright. We know that any demon will seek to possess a mage. and upon doing so will create an abomination. Most of the world does not know, however, that the strength of an abomination depends entirely on the power of the demon that possesses the mage. This is true, in fact, of all possessed creatures. One demon is not the same as any other. Demons can, for instance, be classified. Enchanter Brahm's categorization of demons into that portion of the psyche they primarily prey upon has held since the Tower Age. Excerpt from The Maker's First Children by Beta, senior enchanter of Ostwick in the 12th year of the Blessed Age. Oh, it's been so long since we've been able to read a codex entry that was from a source from a previous age. That was some of my favorite stuff in Origins, is how much that would come out that you'd be reading stuff from the 5th age, the 4th age, the 7th age, all over the place. And it was really, really nice. And, BioWare continuing to pull from that established lore and giving that to us is so nice. Because what we're reading is human post-Veil history, Chantry history, Circle Mage history, that sort of stuff, that perspective on the Maker, the Black City, demons, the Veil, all the Fade, all of that, right? And, of course, we know and have learned that the Veil was created by Solas, and it used to just be all one, and it was elves, and it was dwarves, and then the elves did stuff to the dwarves, and then Solas did his thing, and so we've got, the Blight and the Evan-Urus, and these demons all just hanging out, being like, it's so nice over there. Look at all of these people. They're jealous of these creations, the second children of the Maker. And how I see it, how I have this view is that with all of the lore that we've been given, especially in Inquisition and the tidbits that we're getting here, because Solas dropping the lore bombs casually in our dream discussions with him, right? I feel that we have this element of Solas and the Maker being interchangeable. No one story is wholly correct, but bits and pieces of the history is correct, and it forms this puzzle of elven lore, human lore, dwarven lore, all of these different puzzle pieces that don't quite fit together because it's been twisted over the years and it's based on perspective and experience. Second children of the Maker can really come across in they are the children of a world with a veil, not necessarily created by Solas or the Maker, but created by circumstance. And Solas being the Maker, if it just feels right, it just fits in that sense, especially when it's like, hey, Corypheus, those Tevinter Magisters, they just walked a bit too close to my prison of the Evan-Urus. Where they walked the halls of the city and the throne was empty, and then they were cast out and they were blighted because they got messed up with the blight stuff, which comes from the Fade that was stuck in prison because Elganon and Gillenane were doing fucking crazy shit. And so when you have this element of that leaking out through old god souls into archdemons, and then a warden can kill them to permanently put them down, that's like the old god souls of the Evan-Urus escaping out into the world through the veil, through an archdemon, and then they lead their little blighted darkspawn, and then they get put down, and a blight ends. And how many blights we had? There's been the 5th blight was the last one in Dragon Age Origins. So there's been a few. There's been a few. And if those are indeed the old god souls of the Evan-Urus, then those elven gods are no more, which is like why we only have 2 that have escaped, because that makes it feel like there's 2 left. It's 2 left. And they've both come out, and you didn't need an archdemon this time for this blight because they got let out through the ritual. And then you have, but what about Andraste? What about Andraste? And let's talk about Andraste. Got pretty close to the Maker, right? Like, I don't know, Solas and Mythal. And then what's this thing about Mythal and then Flemeth and how Andraste, to be part of the line of Andraste, it's just a line of daughters, and only daughters carry on that line. And what's that thing with Flemeth about Flemeth just has daughters and then possesses and continues the line? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that just something to think about? Just pretty cool, just pretty casual stuff. And again, this is why we just read this stuff and go, man, I sure do love Dragon Age lore. Isn't it cool to just pick apart? Very fucking cool. And these are theories that I've developed over my course of playing Inquisition and Trespasser especially, and learning these things. And then we've all been hanging out, and Dragon Age fans have all been talking in my Discord and YouTube comments and everywhere since we finished the playthrough, and just talking about thoughts and feelings. And we all have our own perspectives and thoughts and feelings on these games and what's in them as well. And it's just incredible to be like, well, I feel like this can mean this and this can mean that. And the ways that we're able to draw those lines and connective tissue to things is really special.
I talked with those Shadow Dragon friends and Nevs about the gender stuff. There's a lot of it. Gender stuff. But it's maybe good.
I wish that Rook would respond, you know? To all of our companions when they say stuff to us. Rook just blindly says, uh-huh. Say something. Say that's good, you'll figure it out. You know what I mean? And that's part of this whole thing it is gender stuff. It's a lot of stuff. And that's why Taash is going, man, this is a lot of stuff. It's kind of good stuff. It makes sense to me, but it's a lot of stuff. Because it's a lot to learn. Hello.
Ah, Rook. Care to join me on a visit home?
Time for the old grave rituals?
Yes, the memorial gardens need tending. I could use a fellow watcher's company.
Yes, it's the companion quest. It's a companion quest. It's a companion quest for Emmrich. We're walking the graves. I'll be right there. We're doing that instead of the Hossberg wetlands. We're doing that because I said so. Because that's what I was waiting for. Companion quest. And now we'll talk to Balara for some dialogue. And then we'll do another run-in with the companions and see if they have anything to say.
I cannot say.
Who created you?
I cannot say.
What can you say?
I cannot say.
Right. Deserve that.
Got the archive spirit working, I see.
Rook, you're here. And I did. Sort of. A little bit. It appears, but it won't tell me anything.
You simply ask the wrong questions. A common affliction of the weak-minded.
Bruh.
Also that. It's kind of mean.
Good, we need that around here.
Just insult it right back. Assuming you know how to insult a spirit.
I've never thought about it. How would you do that? Emmrich might know. That is an idea. Syrian learned a lot, taught me a lot about these archives. They have, well, not thoughts like us, but sort of pathways, I guess. They can only respond to specific questions worded in specific ways. So, if you're powerful, like almost God-level powerful, how would you talk to someone you see as lesser?
Really condescendingly. Based on experience so far?
Right! You wouldn't ask questions, you'd tell them what to do, so let's try that. Archive, tell me who built you.
One of the greatest of Elvenan, a steward of her glory. Truly, I was blessed to bathe in his warmth. Anaris built me, and to him I shall someday return.
You mean the Forgotten One?
I cannot say.
Good point. It came later.
What or who is a Forgotten One?
The bad gods, or so we were taught, told never to speak their names. Elgranon, Gillinane, they were the good ones that you could pray to. But now we know the truth about the Evanuris. So we don't know for sure what the Forgotten Ones were, I mean. They used to say Solas was one, so best case scenario like him. Worst case, well, you heard it talk.
Right. So this thing's dangerous if it belonged to one of them.
Could be, but still important and invaluable. Everything Anaris knew, this thing knows, and my people deserve to know. If I can get it to tell me.
Archive, tell me about the Dreadwolf.
An ideologue and a fool who will soon pay the price. When Anaris dispatches the Evanuris, he will spare a thought for Fenharel.
Archive, tell me about the Evanuris.
A group of cowards hiding behind their more powerful magic and superior numbers. Their jealousy of Anaris was palpable. Their war is unending. But Anaris will prevail.
I like this.
You have a chance to learn more about your people. Go for it. Just be careful. And try not to break anything.
Right. Thanks, Rook.
All thanks must be given to Anaris, for he will cast down the oppressive Evanuris and take his rightful place.
What a shame I can't stay longer. Good luck.
Appreciate the support.
Yeah, alright, knee face man. How interesting that spirit guide archive thing. We just tell it to do stuff. Anaris. And the Forgotten Ones. So you've got the Forgotten Ones and the Forbidden Ones. Don't get it confused. Alright, we'll see what our companions have to say.
Never thought I'd see a living city smothered by the blight.
Isn't that your whole thing about being a Grey Warden, sir? That's the kind of shit you experience.
We need to carefully plan our next move.
Okay. I'll be over here carefully planning it. Hope we can learn more from that archive there. That'd be fun. Hello? We already have exhausted the Nev dialogue for today. Hello? We've exhausted the Harding dialogue for today. Rook, paper, Manfred. Damn it, you won. We need more interactions with Manfred instead of just playing the game. Let's play different games. How about that? Alright, now what do we have? We have... Let's get the hell out of here. Let's do the wolf statuette. And then we go. Whee! What's gonna happen? View. Oh. View regret. Okay. I see now.
You cannot do this, Algernon. You swore that we would give up our commands when this horrific war was over.
Our people need our leadership. If you're unwilling, leave.
Our people must rebuild, and we must help unite them.
So, we did not fight for freedom, but to conquer this land and our own.
We fought to win, and now the Evenuris are as gods. I do not answer to Mythal's annoying lapdog.
The people are afraid. They must believe in something.
They need strength.
And wisdom.
They need gods who can protect them.
We are not gods. You will learn that.
Every lapdog hides a wolf inside.
Damn. That is such a good mural. Elganon's voice is good too. So deliciously evil. Oh,
that was strange. They were speaking Elven, but I understood it.
I believe we have experienced a memory in each of our native languages.
Not just any memory. One of the Dread Wolves.
And the mages who declared themselves my gods. Well, mine and Davrin's.
Oh, this is cool. 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 Elven lore has always been my favorite element as soon as I started getting exposed to it in Dragon Age Origins, and as soon as it continues to develop. Just so good, right? So, younger Mythal and Solas with hair, and very interesting timing because recently, from the time of me recording this, one of the Trespasser concept artists released a whole bunch of art pieces on ArtStation, and some never before seen stuff from Inquisition and Trespasser in there, including the visual for a younger Solas with hair, with a wolf pelt around him, and a younger Mythal. Looking just like that. So I love to see that continuation of that concept art from previous Dragon Age games, like Trespasser, and having it inform this mural here. It's beautiful. And then you start to get more context in Flemeth / Mythal and Solas's meeting in Trespasser, when Solas seemed to have taken her inside of him, and the apology. You know, there's so much history there that we have not even been privy to. Getting wolf statuettes to get Solas's mural paintings in the lighthouse restored, fantastic decision. And just being able to pick apart those murals is also amazing. I think that this episode of this playthrough, with what we've just been learning and talking about, marks a very specific point where I can feel those lore developments properly getting the hooks into me, and it's always very good when that happens. We've had a lot of establishment and a lot of getting to know characters and airing out some grief about some of the choices with the game and wrestling with the things we love and the things we don't love as much and the things that we don't like. However, it is getting to like this point where there is this good movement of story development and lore, and we have that full Veilguard group now. So we have the team, we can have the team scenes of these characters interacting. It's like it's hitting that ball rolling moment now, and that's good. That is a very good thing.
Anyone see anything in that memory we can use?
Elgranon was hungry for power. Did anything he could to get it, and to hold on to it.
Then Solas, furious at Elganon's installing himself as a despot, started his rebellion.
There's another moving part in this. Mythal. She was keeping the peace.
Mythal and Solas were close. The Inquisition found a temple to Mythal, and there were wolf statues everywhere.
Then she sides with Elgarnon over him. A betrayal.
Because if Mythal gets into the cool guy club, she can be a voice of reason. She can try and do good from being within that group. You know?
I think I get where Mythal is coming from.
Really?
You've just finished some big war. Everyone is exhausted, and now Elgarnon won't give up power. If Mythal sided with Solas, would Elgarnon have backed down?
Not a chance.
It would have led to another war. Mythal tried to keep the peace.
And Solas must see that, but still can't accept that she chose peaceful politics over his ideals.
Perhaps these murals aren't simply memories. They're what Solas wishes to forget.
His regrets. That means they're a way to learn his weak points.
Why are we worried about Solas? He's trapped.
Right. But the Dread Wolf was the god of trickery. He's looking for a way out. Bet on it.
Meanwhile, keep your eyes open in the Crossroads. If there's a way to restore the rest of these murals, Solas would have kept it in his hideaway. It'd be nice to get inside his head for a change.
Great. So that was witnessing the first memory of Fen'Harel is the achievement. And we have picked up a few wolf statuettes in the Crossroads, so we are now able to put them on these pillars and to get more expansion on Solas and the history. And now that we've repaired the lighthouse in this thing, not only being a brilliant light feature, but is also a projector. So it makes me wonder, with the wolf statuettes that we've picked up... Nothing in here for now. Oh, hang on. There's this one right here. There you go. View regret. So these are Solas's regrets. So we now have another one as well. If we've got him, we may as well see him.
I was not certain you would come.
You were the one who walked away. I never turn my back when my friend needs me.
The Evenures seek the magic of the blight.
Impossible. The blight is safely sealed away forever.
Though I wish I could believe you, I have sensed the breaking of the wards.
I will investigate your claims. If they forget the danger of the blight, I will endeavor to remind them.
What if, instead, you left the Evenures and remained with me? Do you not wish for freedom from this struggle?
Be at peace, love. I will stop them.
As you must. The blight is our mistake.
The blight is our mistake.
Did Mythal call Solas love in that memory?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it sounded like.
So they were doing it.
The Elven gods were free with their emotions. They felt things deeply. The way they express things, well, it feels romantic to us, but that wasn't really how it was. Back then, I mean.
Nah, they were doing it.
Valaris, like, trying to speak for back then. You weren't there. They were doing it. Also, just to quickly reverse a little bit, the aspect of when you choose, you can see Mythal's reasoning, and I understand why Solas is angry. What was really good there is it's a choice that has Balara and Davrin split, our two Elven companions. So there was an approval and disapproval between them. And I like that, showing that, you know, the stories that and perspectives and experiences of our elves has been very, very different over the years, and they're going to have different takes and views on it too. And I appreciate that. What I don't appreciate is ick in my Dragon Age game. That's oof and ick. Get it out of here.
Oh, they were absolutely doing it.
Being with someone you're rebelling against? Doesn't sound like Solas.
He also met her in secret and talked about how they could run off together.
It sounded so tragic and romantic.
Oh, wait. Never mind. That does sound like him.
So the Dread Wolf goes to Mythal. They might be fighting, but they have history.
And he warns her about the other god using the blight. That's more important than his rebellion. It's like kingdoms coming together when an archdemon rises.
Mythal didn't think it was possible. She said the blight was sealed away. There's an old legend about it. Davrin, the one with Andruil's armor. Not sure it matters.
It matters. Tell us the story. It's lore. Oh, man. You know how there's just lore revelations or lore discussions and, you know, you're talking about your history and the characters in the world are figuring it out or learning about it as we are as well. There's so many moments where I'm like, I wish we could just have a little FaceTime call, dial up everyone, get Meryl on the phone. When we told Balara, hey, do what you feel is right. You get to learn more about your history. Just don't break anything. We could have told Meryl that back in the day. Hey, don't let a demon possess you, and we'll be okay. You just want to call up everybody and be like, hey, remember that stuff and how we thought about it? Well, you're not going to believe this.
We're deep in Elven lore already. What's the legend say?
Right. Well, Andruil was the goddess of the hunt. She put on armor, magic armor, made us something called the Void, drove her mad.
I remember this one. The other gods were afraid Andruil would turn on them. She was doing all kinds of horrible things, causing plagues. It does sound like the blight.
Well, it all ends with Mythal fighting Andruil. After, Mythal turned into a dragon.
She what? Why didn't you start with that?
Anyway, she took Andruil's armor away, then Andruil's madness left, and peace returned.
Intriguing. So it's possible Andruil stumbled onto the magic of the blight.
And when Andruil went mad, Mythal took it from her and locked it away.
Until someone started using it again.
The whole turning into a dragon thing. Love it.
The blight's one of the only things that really scares Solas. He came to Mythal afraid.
And she took it seriously too.
So Mythal goes off to investigate what Solas says. Then, what? It's too clean.
Seems plenty messy with them doing it.
But this isn't just a memory. It's something Solas wanted to hide. What's the crime? What did we see here that he feels guilty about?
I think I might know. When the Inquisitor was saving the world from the breach, she met Mythal.
What? Like in a dream?
It was complicated. She helped the Inquisition. There was a magic pond and a dragon. Nice. The point is, she also said the other elven gods betrayed her, killed her.
If you're going to talk about it in that way and gloss over it, I'm dead. We should have been able to choose who drank and then Harding can be like, and the Inquisitor drank from the magic pond and learned how to kill dragon. Or, and then Lady Morrigan drank from the well and then learned how to kill dragon. This was great because we did indeed meet her. It was crazy. Now, I don't know if we're going to get Kate Mulgrew's Flemeth Mythal voice in this game at all, but she's been in all 3 Dragon Age games so far. Let's make it a 4th. Come on. We've got a new voice actor for Mythal at the moment, which makes sense because it's obviously in the past, much younger. But that Flemeth voice is undeniably sexy, and I need more of it. So I hope that we get it. What do you mean? What do we mean by killed exactly?
Okay, sorry. Point of order. If they killed Mythal, how was she still around to help the Inquisition?
Rook, as a fellow watcher, you know there are ways.
I'm not saying she couldn't help from beyond the grave. I'm just asking how.
Elven god magic? She'd spent centuries gathering strength and sharing people's bodies, I think.
If it was a truly benign possession, that speaks to her character.
Indeed.
So there's the shame Solas wanted to erase. He blames himself for Mithal's murder.
Well, it's not just that she died.
What do you mean, Taash?
It's... Ugh. There was stuff he wanted to tell her, but he waited too long, and then she was dead. He never got to make it right. That twists you up.
That's it. There's our crime.
Doesn't really tell us anything we can use, though.
We know more than we did. That's something.
Then I guess we keep our eyes open if we come across more of these memories.
Taash is like, they were doing it. Fucking incredible. That's real good stuff. And I have another statue. Group, sit back down. We're doing another one. It's a trilogy of regret at the moment. Let's get into it because we're feasting.
You dare to try to cage us, jealous of our growing power!
You will pay the final price for this betrayal.
We warned you not to use the blight. For this, and for Mythal, I sentence you to sleep in exile ever after. Your own lives will form the veil that keeps the horror you unleashed at bay.
So he locked the gods away and created a veil between this world and the Fade. I mean, they were terrible, no question. But what he did, it didn't just stop them. It destroyed our culture, our world.
It wasn't just to stop them. It was to stop the blight. We've seen how bad Elganon and Gillenane are. Imagine all 7 corrupted gods running wild.
So he created the veil just to keep the Elven gods locked in their prison?
Yes, to keep them from accessing the Fade. But was the creation of the veil around the world an accident?
You heard him yelling. That's not the sound of a ritual going right.
What do you think, Rook?
What do I think? I think 7 Elven gods getting imprisoned and there being 5 blights so far and then 2 other gods escaping. Let's do the math here. We've got 2 blights in 1, baby, which is why it's the worst blight in the history of Thedas. It's 2 at a time, and it's the final 2. There's been 5 blights. We went, we don't need a 6th. Let's go straight to the 6th and 7th at the same time. Pretty damn good if you ask me. And so we have Elganon and Gillenane being like these blighted creations instead of archdemons, and then they've got their own blighted dragon pets instead. That visual, and they plugged in the music for that little memory too. They were like, yeah, I've been saving this little number for this scene. That was a good piece of music in there. I like that a lot. Woo! Mornwatch stuff. As a watcher, alarmed.
Honestly, it's a little terrifying. I've studied the Fade for years with the Watchers. The idea that the Veil, a fundamental part of our world, was an accident as Solas sprang his trap.
Astonishing. How little we truly know.
And a good reminder not to start spells you don't know how to finish.
I had another question, and I'm sorry, maybe this doesn't matter, but Solas trapped the blighted gods in an ancient elven building, right?
That's what it looks like. Maybe a palace? Fancier than what I've seen in Arlathan, at least.
And then, the Magisters were lured into the Fade. They broke in, which let the Blight escape, and turned the Golden City black.
Right, and the Black City hangs in the Fade, a little reminder of their mistakes. What's wrong, Lace?
It's just... The Chant of Light says that the Maker built for them the Golden City, the center of all creation. But if the Golden City was an ancient elven palace, then the Maker didn't build it. The elves did. The Chant of Light is Andraste's visions from the Maker, but it sounds like it's wrong.
You're asking if we just disproved the entire Andrastian faith.
Did we?
It was only there all along. Oh, look at this. This is good. This is good. I like it a lot. I love Harding being like, wait a minute. That's hot shit. Put aside questions of the Maker. Speak as someone who does not believe in the Maker. Confirm continued belief in the Maker. Share Harding's belief and anxiety at learning this, and speak as someone who does not believe in the Maker, and do not give a personal view regarding belief in the Maker. Well, considering where my point of view has been at, I'm gonna say, don't let this shake you, maybe. Ugh. Boop, boop, boop. I'll say don't let this shake you, because there's probably bigger things coming.
The Maker was never my faith, Lace, but I don't think you have to give it up.
But what they taught us was just wrong. What if the Maker just doesn't exist?
The Chant of Light might be wrong, but it's been made and changed by people over 1,000 years.
There was a whole verse about an elf named Shartan, and the chantry just cut it out.
Bars.
So maybe the Golden City was meant as a metaphor. Or maybe it was added because of politics. That might change the history, but it doesn't have to change your whole faith.
The Dalish clans are struggling with the same thing. What do we keep? What do we lose?
The Elven gods, the Maker. No matter who you light a candle to, you've got some hard questions to ask yourself right now.
Doctrine is not the truth. It is one of many paths to the truth.
I recognize the sentiment, though not the specific quote. Who said that?
My mother.
Ah. Questions of faith aside, we have some very real gods that still need killing.
Looks like there are 3 more of these murals with the Dreadwolf's old memories. Wonder what else he's hiding.
And I have another one to place. I got another one. I have another idol. I pull out another idol. We got 2 more in the Crossroads to find. Oh. Woo! I could scream from the rooftops. This is just a pleasure and a delight. Oh my god. Oh man. It's just hot shit. Yeah, that was a painful ritual for Solas. He went, I need to sleep forever now. And then he slept, and then he woke up and he went, what the fuck? What just happened? Only just incredible stuff right there. And when we think about the name The Maker, what did Solas do? Albeit accidentally. What did Solas do? He made the world that we currently reside in. He only went and made it. Oh, Harding talking about the stuff. He's like, wait a minute. What happened here? Shall we do another? Shall we just smash out 4 regrets and then we'll go and find the other 2 through the Crossroads and also go on that companion quest with Emmrich? So much to do. View the 4th regret. Please? Put it on the monitor. And it still gets me
You
every
have
time.
so long observed the world. Why not consider joining it?
But I have no desire to live as humans. I have the Fade. Besides, this talk of taking on a solid form. I think you underestimate the danger. When you took the glowing stone to build your body, did the earth not shake?
Delirium gives us the strength we had when we were of the Fade. We are the best of physical and spirit. I need your wisdom, Solas, to withstand the louder voices who would go too far like Elganon. I need you.
This is madness. You must know that. I will always follow where you go.
Woohoo! And now it's Mythal and the Titan stuff, which started in Trespasser, baby.
What? This is astounding. The ancient elves were spirits who voluntarily manifested a physical form.
I'd rather go back to talking about the blight.
Hey, Lucanis. Could Spite turn into an elf?
No.
Sorry, but... What?
Okay, so we had the Descent DLC, really good. We had Trespasser DLC, really good. In Trespasser, we had that mural in the little secret room where it was about the Titans, and we learn about Mythal did some stuff, you know? Now we just get to see more of that stuff. It's just the continuation, all of these stepping stones, all of these pieces to get to this point. So now we're getting into the lyrium part of things. The revelation of the elves being spirits, everything has been like this spiritual experience. And then they're like, what if we had bodies? So sorry, Taash, maybe they weren't doing it at all. Not in the way that we thought, not physically, but spiritually. Oh, it's just cool. It's just cool. This is interesting.
This puts all of Elven history in a new light, not to mention what we think about spirits.
I mean, some magic works differently for elves. If we came from spirits, that'd explain it.
The knowledge that an entire people were formed from a mass manifestation could change our entire understanding of magic.
If we let it out, is that the right call? Do you want bigoted humans yelling about how elves are demons?
Davrin's got a point. World's not short on small-minded humans.
Careful now. You might get a little too real. This is my fantasy game. This is where I go for fantasy. Not politics. There's no politics in Dragon Age. Denerim? The Landsmeet? What's that? Orlais? What's that? Tevinter? What's that? I don't understand. It's just fantasy. None of it's real. Oh, it's a crazy time to be alive, isn't it?
I don't think people will care right now. We've got evil gods trying to destroy the world.
Evil Elven blighted gods. Don't forget.
You won't let
You
me.
have to tell someone, though. Strife and Irulan, at least.
If I told Thea and Viago, they'd think I was sampling Viago's poison collection. No one will believe us.
Okay. We keep this to people we trust who have good reason to know. No shouting it from the rooftops.
Agreed. The Morn Watch has a great deal of experience keeping dangerous secrets.
So, beyond the world-shaking stuff, what else did we learn here? Solas himself was a spirit.
What kind do you think he was?
Well, his name is Elven for pride.
Oh, okay.
There's something else. Not about spirits, or not all about them at least. Solas didn't want to become a person with a physical body.
Right. He only agreed after Mythal begged him.
Then that's his regret. He wishes he'd never taken physical form.
Maybe, but not just that. Solas was scared. They built their bodies out of lyrium, and it made the ground shake.
You think about the implications for a character like Fenris, right? All these lyrium veins in Fenris. It gives a whole new perspective and thought process to all of that kind of stuff too. Yeah, Solas might not have wanted to become physical, but the way he grabbed my Inquisitor's ass, you know he wasn't regretting it in that moment. Yeah, scandalous dog. I love it. And in the sense that Solas does mean pride, right? And we have pride demons and spirits. They come and they go, they shift, they change. Very cool. And let's talk about another thing, a visual design element, okay? Let's talk art direction. What does a pride demon and the Dreadwolf have in common visually? A lot of these peepers. Pride demons have a lot of eyes. And so does the Dreadwolf.
Lyrium is the blood of the Titans.
The Titans would have felt it as an attack. They defended themselves.
The first memory we saw with Elganon seizing power, it happened at the end of a war.
A war between the Titans and the elves.
Lace, I'm so sorry.
It feels like we still don't have the full picture. But I think that's part of what Solas regrets. He didn't see the danger.
Except he did. He was worried. You said it yourself.
He did it for Mithal. Everything that followed, he could have prevented if he just told her no.
Then he's got a war on his conscience. Plus, whatever we find next.
And whatever we find next, I don't know what they're gonna do. Because I don't have those pieces yet. It's up there, and it's up there. There will be 2 more pieces of the puzzle, and we'll get the squad together, and we'll talk about it. Earth-shattering stuff. Titanic, if you will. A Titanic lore drop and discussion. Also, there's a door here. Hasn't opened yet, but maybe it's tied to this whole thing. We got this one open with the Elven statues. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, this is where we'll bring this episode of Dragon Age the Veilguard to a close. This might be the most important episode of the playthrough outside of like ending stuff where we go through how this game's story is going to close out. I think in terms of the presentation of this even being a concept of the characters exploring this, getting those lore drops, speaking with the Inquisitor, these things really starting to go ahead now. This marks a significant moment in the playthrough of this game shifting into this territory. And it's good. It's very, very good. And I've been so happy to sit here and take it all in and to talk through it with everybody. And I hope you have enjoyed it. I really do, because I have enjoyed it a lot. And at the end of the day, we all get to go through this together, and it's very special. I went through 3 Dragon Age games after them being out for quite some time. We're in the 15th year of Dragon Age. This is the 15th anniversary of the Dragon Age as a series. And people have been playing it for so long, and I'm brand new, but clearly well-versed because I've absorbed it and I've really gotten passionate about it. Like, we got to the point throughout Inquisition that I was reading enough where I went, I think Solas is the Dreadwolf. And it was so. And a lot of the things that we've read, that we've taken in, that we have been told throughout the course of these games, you start to see the vision. And getting to the parts of these Dragon Age games where the vision is shown to you is really special. Dragon Age as a series continues to impress, and it continues to make me very happy that my investment in the lore and my time spent soaking it up and passionately ranting about it is not time wasted. And it's really, really good. It's really good. I'm very happy about it. Thank you so much for joining me today for this episode. Next time, Emmrich's Companion Quest. We're going to do that, and then we'll go through the Crossroads. Maybe we'll get those other 2 idols. I feel like maybe they might be spaced out a little bit to when we can actually access those areas of the Crossroads. Or maybe we could just get it right now. I don't know. We'll have to see. But regardless, I'm excited to get to it, and I'm excited to talk about it and to share in those revelations together. Thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you next time.